in New York right now, Lauren.
I love that you actually start with the weather. The weather's good. It's really warm. It's like it's the kind of day where you get a warm breeze. Like you literally get a warm breeze coming off of wherever when you open the window and step out. It's nice.
Nice. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like an ideal day. Sounds like an ideal day.
And yourself?
You know, it's not super sunshiny here, but it's also not the gloomiest day. So,
Somewhere in the
you
middle.
know, it's somewhere right in the middle, which I mean, I can't complain. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Good.
How about you, Jess?
It's a bit chillier here in the last recent days. Yeah, the temperature's dropped. It looked like it was going to rain, but the sun did come out a little bit today. So again, can't complain too much, but the heating had to come on today. So that's when you know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's always good to have the days where you can rock the sweater, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's always a good thing.
It's a nice sweater you have on, so perfect.
Thank you. I like this one. This is one of my favorites. So
I do like it. You know, I'm partial to stripes, but I love gray too. I love black, and good choice, Jess. Good choice.
Thank you,
Lauren. I like your sweater as well. I like your sweater as well.
It's a cotton t-shirt, but it's just got these really ornate sleeves.
Oh,
that's like
right.
Yeah, it's a look. It's definitely a look.
It's a look. It's a cute one. It's a cute one. And hello to you ladies, as well as what the weather is. And a big hello to our Twitch users and viewers. Welcome to the Arghon AI live stream on Twitch. My name is Paula, and I will be your host today. I am joined by the lovely Jessica and the lovely Lauren. Hi. We're excited to have you. We're excited to have you watching today. Today is our Topic Tuesday. We will be discussing a few news articles pertaining to artificial intelligence, and we're going to have an open discussion. If you are curious as to what Arghon is and where you can find more information about our company, you can catch us on our social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Arghon AI. That's Arghon AI, as well as our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Arghon. Yeah. It's Topic Tuesday. You ladies, I saw the episode yesterday after it was live, so I wasn't watching live, but I must say, brava and well done.
We missed you.
Interesting show. I missed you guys too.
I think Jess did a great job hosting.
Thank you.
She killed it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sure did,
Props.
Jess.
Props, Jess.
Thank you.
Snaps.
Thank you.
Snaps. Job well done. Job well done. But also, job always well done with you ladies. I mean, it's always a solid job. So, yeah. For those who are just now tuning in, please let us know where you're coming from. We would love to hear from you. We love the interaction between our Twitch users and viewers, as well as the team, to chat about artificial intelligence and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
That just rhymed. That sounded
good.
like Dr. Seuss, and I didn't even try. Am I a poet and I didn't even know it? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. So you guys had really great questions yesterday, but can you think of a random question today to start off the show?
Well, first you need to tell us your answer to the question from yesterday, which was, if you were going to collaborate with an artist, who would you collaborate with?
Wow. Okay. The answers yesterday were so solid. I was like, yes to all of those people. Like, yes. It was just so, like, yeah. Tyler the Creator, Harry Styles, Bruno Mars, Lizzo. It was ladies, you did a wonderful job in answering this question. So now I'm gonna, maybe The Weekend.
Ooh.
And
I was supposed to see him this year, but it got postponed until next year. I'm sad.
Well, at least it's not like canceled, but like you have the ticket. You just sorry.
Yeah.
But now I've got to wait till October next year. That's a
Oh,
long
wow.
time.
Gosh,
That's
wow.
a huge gap.
It's a long time. And let's see. You know what? I've been really into the Hayley Williams CD, Petals for Armor, so maybe Hayley Williams too.
These are good choices.
Yeah.
The Weekend, I imagine it would be weirdly, I think it'll be a very cerebral writing experience. Like, I just feel like, I mean, maybe he just sits there and kind of mumbles to himself until it comes together. But I just feel like it's probably more cerebral than you'd expect. Like more, I don't know how to explain that, but I just think you know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I mean, to even answer the question yesterday, I think I would want to make my own song first, but I understand having the AI coming in and, oh no, I have all the topics wrong.
Yeah.
I'm also, I'm just kidding.
So it was, work with an AI, and then
like a top 10 artist and have no creative control.
Correct.
I think I would work with the AI. I think where I would fall short in the whole music scene and experience of, anything musical related, I think the AI could help me out a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had to collab with artists, I think I would choose those two. Plus, all of the other two that you guys picked were really, really solid too. So don't be annoyed if I just sit in on the room. Just like, yeah, guys, I'm here as a fan.
That's fine.
Never. I wouldn't be annoyed. I'd actually feel way more comfortable because I'd be like, I know that she'll at least be nice.
Yeah.
Totally invited to all my sessions.
Oh, thank you.
You too, Jen. Don't feel left out.
Okay. Thank you.
This is like a precursor. I am coming to your session. Whether or not you want me there, I'm there. I'm just kidding, I'll be there.
You're not there for me though, really. You're there for Harry, and that is fine. That is okay.
It's very sweet through my motivations here.
I'm here to support a friend doing her creative thing on this song.
And it's just a bonus that Harry is there, so you're like,
none of us are gonna believe it, but yeah.
It is a bonus, but here for you, boo. Here for you.
Thanks.
Yes. All right, so to our Twitch users and viewers, if you didn't catch yesterday's episode, no worries. You can find it on our video portion of our Arghon AI Twitch channel. It will be there for about 2 weeks. If you have any questions or comments you would like to add to those live streams in the past, we will answer them because we can still receive them. So it's fine. Okay, so today's Topic Tuesday, we have some articles, and we're going to get into those articles right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. The first article. Miss Lauren, feel free to take it away.
Hold on, I think I opened the wrong one. 1 second. 1 second. So this is the artificial intelligence poses a threat. Okay, so this is from Feed Leader, this article. It's written by Darren Stocking, and it's titled Artificial Intelligence Poses a Threat to American Office Workers. And I think it was probably originally from the site digitalhub, as that's like excerpted next to it. Okay, so this basically was an article that talked about what the relationship between AI and the regular office worker is going to be, as well as I think generally it was a rumination on, let me take that out, not rumination, but it was a review of what the general public's response or reflections are as it relates to how AI will impact them as workers in various industries.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the interesting things that I found that I liked about this article was that it gave some pretty strong stats right off the bat. So it said about 53% of U.S. office workers worry their current skills will be outdated in fewer than 5 years, and that's according to a recent poll. And then there was a study that asked 2,000 American office workers about their skills and how they wish to improve. And the results revealed that about 9 in 10 respondents felt that they would be more secure in their jobs if their employer offered them training opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And then one poll did something on behalf of, I guess, UiPath, and their survey found that 78% of respondents would be felt they would be more productive at their jobs if they could learn new skills. 86% said they 86%. Wow. Said they wish their employer offered opportunities to acquire skills, while 83 said that they'd like to enhance the skills they already have. And then 9 out of 10 said they would be more willing to continue working at a company that offered upskilling and reskilling. Don't worry, the stats are almost coming to a close. And of those that were surveyed, 63% said the top benefit was increased opportunities on a job. Like going into a new job, that's one of the biggest things that they knew, that either they get hired from within, or there were opportunities for them to gain new skills and therefore, be more relevant, more useful to their jobs. And 58% of those people in this study said that if that actually taking part in on-the-job skills training increased their pay and their responsibility. So essentially, you can assume that there was some kind of promotion. And 91% of those surveyed agreed that employers should be more willing to invest in technology-based skills training for their employees. Now, so all of these were really interesting because, again, and they said something like 87% of people of those surveyed were interested in learning about AI and machine learning, and 8 in 10 agreed that skills related to AI and machine learning would be beneficial to their careers. So what I liked about this article was that it generally focused on, again, skills. The way that the workforce, the American workforce at least, and I'm assuming it can be extrapolated and have with minor differences for the UK, Europe, and so on, and other developed places. Not just developed. I take that back. I'm sure that's common most of the world. Mm-hmm. But what I liked about that article was that we realized that, contrary to what a lot of media says, people are not running in fear of AI and all the various, technologies, machine learning and Internet of Things, all the different technologies that are related to it. What people really want is to be given the tools to empower themselves, given the tools to learn and gain these skills so they can adapt for artificial intelligence, adapt to these new modes. As we know, there's media generally enjoys a kind of, or it takes a negative slant towards most topics, because if it bleeds, it leads. But here on the Arghon AI's Twitch channel, we our whole purpose is to actually explore what is AI, and to kind of debunk some of these, the paranoia, the hype, and the hysteria around AI, and give some truth and actual perspective. And what we like to talk about is the fact that, we are an AI company who believe that technology's purpose is to serve and be inclusive, right? So that article showed that, again, the overwhelming majority of the workforce is open to this. And I think that's very true. And I think we find that when we have, a social circumstance or situation where generally, if you mention that you're working in an AI company or that you founded an AI company, people's reaction is to like light up and they start asking you questions, and it's you have to almost purposely avoid the third degree because there is so much curiosity about this space. There is so much interest, and I think a lot what it tells me, given that the it what it tells me is that people are out here looking for something like the Vision 2020 initiative. And what Vision 2020 is, for the viewers who are watching, it's essentially Arghon's initiative to teach people the world over how to code. Not just code regular programming, but to code for AI, which is that elite level, which is going to be in high demand and is a burgeoning space in the technology field. And of course, we offer all of this at arghon.com/vision 2020. So you go to arghon.com, you make an Arghon account, you sign up for Vision 2020, and you're right there in our developer environment. And we've got templates for you to learn how to code, as well as video to follow along. So we very much help you through it. And on top of that, there's an easy to follow process with videos and more, all for free. So that's what we've created. But what I think is so interesting about this article and what's exciting is to see that there really is a lot more enthusiasm for AI and AI learning than anyone would really have us believe. And I think that there is such a misconception that people's trepidation is fear, right? Whereas I think it's just sometimes it's curiosity that doesn't know where to place itself, right? You're like, okay, well, what is that? How does that work? And I think it's very important that the tech discussion, that the tech media discussion, really emphasize the massive growth opportunity. If you learn AI coding now, you're set for an industry that's going to have, unlike regular technological advancements, this will have like a 50-year span of just being constant and evolving and a strong presence. So yeah, I found the article to be quite informative. Again, it's a lot of statistics, but also if people go and actually click on the link, they'll see there's some infographics that kind of help further explain and make real these statistics. But I find it very encouraging as a tech founder, and I think it's an encouraging. I think it should be encouraging for most people, because when you're looking at the job market, and I know that people worry, is it going to replace my work? Is it going to get me out of a job, keep me out of a job because now the AI is doing it, I don't need to be there? Well, the truth is, as we've said before, in like the mass production, I think last Thursday's episode, AI is really meant to be a partner to the global worker. It's there to actually make your work more efficient, but also help you to be more attentive to the things that matter. To make sure that you're anticipating things that can't be anticipated by a machine. It gives you that freedom and that clarity now to actually focus on that. And I think an article like this shows that the average worker is not going to be alone in this needing to adjust, right? I think there's something scary sometimes when people think about, I have to learn something new and I'm not a techie person. And, but the truth is that as we can see here, it was a study of 2,000 people, and the vast majority were like, we need these skills, we want these skills.
Yeah.
That says that there is an audience here, and that not only are there people for us to reach as a company, but there are people for the public to interact with and gain community. And I think there's nothing more exciting than having that community aspect while you're developing, while you're growing, while you're learning.
I agree. What's so encouraging about this article is the stats show that people are willing. To have that willingness to learn a new skill. Their office job, they may have been doing the same thing every single day, maybe 5 days a week for 20 years, but to have that willingness to adapt to the times and change and progress with the times is very encouraging. I hope when people read these articles, they are encouraged to think to the future as to what outlets can they use to fulfill these people's willingness. Like, what can they use to upskill their lives? What's really encouraging is that we have something like that in Arghon and Arghon's Vision 2020 initiative, which does teach people to code for AI, which is upskilling their life, preparing them for the future, but making their skill set future proof. It's a really an encouraging thing, because when you see stats like this, it's going against the wave and the curve of, oh no, we're hesitant to get into artificial intelligence. What is this? It's no, I'm willing to learn this. Where can I learn this?
Yeah.
So hopefully this can encourage more companies to have outlets for people to utilize in the teaching of artificial intelligence. But if those users and viewers right now are interested in getting a head start in coding, learning how to code and coding specifically for AI, you can head on over to arghon.com/vision 2020 to learn all there is to learn.
Yep.
On our website. All of those little educational courses, along with the same platform that you can practice your coding and create your own AI programs.
One second, I'll grab a tissue.
But no, what I quite liked about the article, obviously you ladies have made brilliant points, so I'm kind of gonna piggyback off of that. But also what I liked going into this article, reading that title, it fed into that whole negative storyline that people are used to seeing. So what I feel like they did was, it's like it tempts people in, so they're like, oh, I know what it's going to say, and actually it hits you with all of these like facts and figures that are like, no, people actually want to learn AI. And I just thought, as I was going through, it did. That's what I put very clickbaity, but I like that. As I said, it kind of, you think, oh, it just feeds into that whole normal negative storyline. But then, it says, it's refreshing reading that 87% of those surveyed are interested in learning about AI. Because again, if you just read about AI in the media, you do not get that impression at all. You think that everybody's running away scared. So, as I said, it's really refreshing. And 8 in 10 agreed that skills related to machine learning and AI would be beneficial to their career. So again, it just drives that point home when we say, okay, we understand that there is a fear of people thinking, oh, it's going to take my job. Actually, it's going to create so many jobs on top of that. So it was just really refreshing reading it, because I just thought, oh, here we go again. I'm just going to read the same stuff. But then
ourselves here.
So I think it just agrees with everything that we kind of come on here to say. So it's always good when we read something positive about AI, and that people are, willing to kind of upskill themselves and they want to. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is so good. It is so good. The workplace is someplace that artificial intelligence will have a major impact on within the next 5 years. Easy. I think that's a very, it's a safe bet to say 5 years, but it's encouraging that the percentage is so big right now that it could possibly be sooner than that. And for the office employees to fully grasp that and take hold of their futures by learning artificial intelligence is something that leads me to believe that the office space is a really bright and optimistic place of setting the trend for artificial intelligence in the workplace. So it's great. It's great.
Woo.
Yes. Woo. Thank you for that article, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Jess,
Mm-hmm.
I need to know about this gaming situation.
Wow.
We've spoken about it in weeks past, but there is a new article, and it's your article, so
It
I
is.
give the floor to you.
Enlighten us.
I'm so excited because on Friday, one of the things I said was I wanted to kind of talk about gaming a bit more because we are on the Twitch platform after all. So, yeah, this article is really cool and I'm really excited to talk about it. So,
Yeah.
it is Gamemakers Inject AI to develop more lifelike characters. And it's from Wired and it's by a gentleman called Will Knight. So, researchers at EA, so the company that does like FIFA, Madden, all of those kind of games, those very popular games, they're testing recent advances in AI as a way to speed up the development process and make games more lifelike. So this is also something we've kind of spoken about in VR as well. So it's cool. So a team from EA and the University of British Columbia in Vancouver is using a technique called reinforcement learning. So what that basically is it's an area of machine learning that is employed by various software and machines to find the best possible behavior or path it should take in a specific situation in order to reach the goal, basically. So apparently it sparked quite a lot of excitement within sort of the gaming industry as well as other areas of AI, because it's said in recent years that computers have learned to play like complex games and solve these problems without any instruction. So they're learning themselves, which is really cool. And also when we talk about gaming, traditionally characters in video games and their actions are crafted manually. And how they normally do that is motion capture. So they use humans, they put the dots on the faces and they basically track their movements that way. However, that kind of limits the possibilities because you're then only recording that movement. So if you've forgotten to, record a certain movement, you then have to go back and code that. So yeah, basically with this technique, the team first trained a machine learning model to identify and reproduce statistical patterns in motion capture data. And then they used reinforcement learning to train another model to reproduce realistic motion with a specific objective. So like imagine if it is like FIFA, it's how someone would run towards the ball or how they would tackle. So it basically this produces animations not found in the original motion capture. So it's kind of filling in those gaps that I just said.
Yeah.
So it basically the program learns how a soccer/football, wherever you're from, how that player would move, and then can animate the character itself using that technique. So yeah, they're saying obviously right now it's used kind of in sports games, but it can also be used in action games and role playing games and stuff like that too. So yeah, it's really exciting. And again, I just think how crazy is that you're teaching this AI kind of like, okay, right, here's the data from this motion capture, fill in the gaps, and it knows exactly what to do. I just think again it goes back to making a human's job so much easier because you've taught the AI what it needs to do and it does it for you. You don't have to necessarily sit there and code yourself for hours and hours to fill in the gaps. So really exciting article, I think.
It is. It is. I almost don't expect anything else from EA Sports. Like wasn't their slogan EA Sports get in the game?
Yeah.
Like it would make sense that they're looking for ways as to the user gaming experience to get furthermore into the game.
Yeah.
I do think artificial intelligence is the answer to that. Um, it's really exciting. It's very exciting, and it's the advancements in gaming with artificial intelligence, the possibilities are truly endless.
Yeah.
These advances that they're making, even now, I almost have no words, because the at what point does it get to be like too real? You understand what I'm saying? At what point does it get too real? But it's also exciting because it really takes the user there, and no matter what environment they are in, they can like get into that game, get into the game, whichever they're playing. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think of it, I think this is one of the coolest. At least to me, it's one of the most fun ways that people can, get involved with their AI. On top of just having a personal relationship, with their super companion. And I'm really interested to see how, because it's all about the immersive experience. The more the game can feel like the real thing, the better. So I'm really excited to see how, how do I describe it? I'm really excited to see how these entirely AI generated, or generally AI generated characters develop, because I see it being such a cool way to turn FIFA into something multiplayer, like where you are genuinely on the field in the game, and it's just interesting, because I mean, if you're going from the above view and seeing a character move here and a circle here and a circle, you know what I mean, like that, to if it's, I mean, if we're doing entirely computer generated AI generated imagery, it'd be really amazing to see how far this can go, because you think about what motion capture has been able to do, just I mean, like with the Star Wars films, and is it Kanata, Lupita's character, and how it went, it's her face, but then it's not her face, and all of her expressions and everything are captured. So it's so interesting to see the melding of that motion capture and that AI, to there's no reason that you can't have it stretch even beyond the world of gaming into just virtual interaction.
Yeah.
So it's because, can you imagine like a role-playing game, like let's say World of Warcraft, just to throw one out there that most people should be familiar with. Imagine that, but with generated characters, but they essentially are just AIs with a full spectrum of response capability, and the graphics to match. I mean, the novelty that can be developed, I mean, that I couldn't imagine something more immersive, frankly. So, I mean, maybe I'm just geeking out, but I'm just excited to see it. Like, I would be so intrigued to, I look forward to that. And I'm hoping, similar to Paula's projection for the 5-year for the workforce, I'm hoping that we get the same level of, like a similar time frame for that kind of immersive gameplay. Because
that would be incredible. Yeah.
And
where my brain goes as well is LA Noire. So that's a Rockstar game. It came out years ago, but it was one of the first, I believe it was one of the first games to use motion capture on their faces. And the main selling point of that game was you are a detective, or you're in the police, you work your way up, but you've got to kind of talk and kind of interrogate people. And based on their facial expressions, you get to guess if they're lying, if they're kind of hiding something, or if they're telling the truth. So obviously, when you play it now, the graphics look slightly outdated. Like, it's still really cool. I would happily go back and play it. But I just imagine, like, with AI and sort of having, that technique then put on top of that, how realistic that would be. It would almost make the game impossible, I think. Like, you would actually need to be like trained in, police.
People would suddenly be solving crimes, and it's like, where did you learn to do this? Well, I just played a video game for like 14,000 hours. So this is just to give anyone who's not familiar a sense of it. Hold on, let me turn my.
It's a really cool game. I recommend, if you have not played it, play it. Yeah. And I can't think of his name.
Gives like Casablanca vibes. Almost.
I know, right? It's the hat and the.
Yeah.
That's very much. Yeah. Let's see what the.
But yeah, they used a load of actors for it. So Aaron Staton. So he was in Mad Men. If you've ever seen that.
Of course.
Castle Rock, August Rush, Unbelievable.
Apparently, they made a second one, LA Noire 2 that came out in 2017.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where my brain goes, because I'm like, imagine
Cole Phelps.
Yeah.
And Roy Earl and Stefan Bukowski and Gloria Bishop. Those are the names of some of the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to think about this. Whatever machine learning model they're going to use, it'll just be funny to see like another soccer player running at you and try to pretend to be fouled. You know, so emotional.
And you're just like, come on, man! Like you made it on your own.
My knee. Like just have people just like rolling around on the floor. That like
after that.
Motion capture.
Flail,
yeah.
Flail like you've been kicked in the shin. Just flail.
Yes. The drama behind it all.
It would be funny, like, if you gave the AI that much data and it had to, like, analyze all, like, these football games, and then, that's what it came back with. That would be funny.
Let's see that playback.
I'm here for that game.
My neck.
That would be good.
Around a little bit, and they kind of like slam the ground a little bit, talking about, oh, this happened to me. Don't you see I'm injured? And the ref is just like, get up, or I'll give you a card.
Stop it. Just stop it. Every time I've watched a soccer football game, I'm just like, wow. Broadway has missed its brightest star.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Yep.
I'm just like, is the foul worth that? Is it worth it? Apparently so.
Anything to get that kick. Anything.
Yeah. It's like, wow. That's a bit much. But to each their own.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start playing soccer and like develop a great appreciation for the sport.
For the dramatic arts?
Maybe. I can appreciate it. Hey, I can appreciate it. Well, thank you, Jess. Thank you, Jess, for that wonderful article about gaming, the future of AI, gaming and AI. They definitely go hand in hand. So to see any advances to both to that world with artificial intelligence is very exciting. Indeed. To those who are viewing our Twitch live stream right now, let us know where you're coming from. Let us know what games you like to play. Let us know what you possibly see the gaming industry and the gaming world changing with artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like this conversation, I mean, it really is endless. It really is endless, and it's so exciting to get people's different viewpoints on it. Depending on where they're coming from in the world, it may look very close to this already, you know, but to just get the different viewpoints is very exciting, and what we look to do here on the Twitch channel. Okay. All right.
Agreed.
Ladies, are we ready for our final article?
Yes.
We are ready.
Speaking of emotions and how these football soccer players will be emotional to get that foul. Artificial intelligence. My article is called Artificial Intelligence Just Got Emotional. Oh. For those who are viewing the channel, if you have any questions as to where to find these articles, they are posted in the chat right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can follow along with us as we go.
Indeed.
Okay, so artificial emotional intelligence is something that, it is using the user's eyes and their voice inflections to pick up on what the person is really trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that we don't see very often in the conversation of AI as it is right now, but possibly where it could be moving. My article is saying that it's predicting up to 10% of personal devices will have some form of artificial emotional intelligence within the next 2 years.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think, that's a pretty good number for something that isn't as widely known about right now as, say, even artificial intelligence, just straight up artificial intelligence. The AEI has been created to give a more individual response to people, depending on whatever the situation, whatever is going on, to give just that little bit more of a finessed answer. There is a company called Effectivia. It's a Boston-based group. They're working on this recognition software. And right now, they're working to see how this can be used in all of AI. But right now, they're starting with elderly people who are interacting with an AI to give a little bit more of, a sweeter answer, a little bit more of a gentler answer. When it comes to helping them and giving them, any information that was asked of the system, it be given in a different kind of way. Artificial emotional intelligence will play an important role during this time of the pandemic because a lot of businesses are seeing the use for AI in general. So the use of AEI during such trying times, they feel can only be of benefit because, with the world as it is right now, possibly having an AEI coming into the picture will it will make the interaction feel more personal, more special, and possibly make the users want to, build the relationship with the AI.
Yeah.
The article in which I am reading from, because I didn't tell you who created this article. It's from Ayush Tiwari. I'm pretty sure I have used another article from AI Daily, and it was possibly, I understand and I appreciate these articles that they are producing, so thank you, AI Daily. The whole article that was created was made by Grammarly, which right now they are trying to use, an AI to see how the tone and whatever words are being spoken to the AI to produce this article, how it can have an effect on the actual article. By picking up the tone in which you are speaking, it sets the tone for the whole article. So that was one of the, computer AI facets that they used for this article today. Okay. What do you all think about the idea of emotional intelligence? So AEI being involved with artificial intelligence and the user's interaction. I will preface it by saying that we spoke about this on one of our earlier shows. Just would you all appreciate an AI that had more of an emotional response to what you are saying based on your tone and, your eye contact and voice inflections? Does it feel more personal when an AI responds to you in that way? For those who are viewing, feel free to chime in with your response. But what do you ladies think about this artificial intelligence getting emotional?
Well, yeah, we briefly, I can't remember what the article name was last time, but it was kind of touching on privacy, I believe. So that one was kind of got us in the debate of it's good that it's kind of giving the option to people whether, they want the AI to be able to tell the tone or, what they're feeling through the tone of their voice.
Right.
So, I mean, it's similar to Arghon because I think the way that we're literally talking here is how you can talk to Arghon. So I think it again breaks those barriers of an AI has to sound and act just like a robot. Because again, like Arghon, it's a super companion. You don't want something coming back at you with really like boring, just monotone answers. Like it makes it so much more enjoyable when it is more personal, when it has a personality. But also, I think what's quite interesting is that it said about how tech and AI can kind of aid us in post-lockdown world. And I think that goes into like the origin of Arghon because, 16 years ago, it was sort of made because Collie's mother-in-law, there was, worry that, okay, if they're by themselves, who's going to tell them or who's going to remind them to take the medication. So I think it's really funny because it's sort of like Collie was so ahead of his game that, it's funny that a pandemic and now people are like, oh, but, what about my granny who's by herself? So I think if that doesn't give you a reason to check out Arghon, I don't know what does. But if you go to the website at the top, go download, go check it out. But also, I think when it's going into checking emails and stuff, obviously it's talking about how an AI interprets it. But I think the way I look into it, like, is okay, so Grammarly, it normally just checks whatever you've written. But imagine having an AI that tells you, hang on, that email sounds really moody. Do not phrase it like that. And then you're like, okay, I trust you. So I think, so again, I think looking at it from that perspective is really cool. Again, it's like your super companion where it's looking out for you as well, and it can kind of interpret those things, and it goes back into the mass production where it's making suggestions to you that you can trust. So yeah, when I read stuff like this, it is really exciting, and I think as much privacy, that is a big thing, but again, I like people being able to choose if they want your AI to tell what tone or how you're feeling by your eye movements or however you speak. You can kind of switch that on and off, which I think is refreshing, gives the person a choice. But yeah, I enjoyed this article. Again, it's always interesting getting into the whole emotional side because stereotypes, people still think that AI and robots are just one thing. They're a collective that
miserable, unfeeling, potentially dangerous because they're not like us, kind of thing. That's what they think. It's not what it is.
No.
Right.
No. But it was a good article, I think, for just highlighting that fact. And it's funny that we kind of spoke about a previous article from them about emotion, and then this one is kind of like a more updated version. So
yeah, I'm excited that the conversation is turning towards a more empathetic AI. It's not new news for us because Arghon understands the nuances. We understand, like, we know, and we are, very grateful that we are privy to the fact that artificial intelligence has many facets to it. There are many different nuances to the whole artificial intelligence experience. What is encouraging, though, is that you are seeing more articles such as this one that is making it more of a commonplace, understanding that AIs are not just cold and, you know, uncaring and just robotic. And that's so not what it is. When I see articles that explain the use and the intention of help in any way, I am always pretty much going to pick that article because I cannot stress
Admits
enough
to her bias, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stress enough the fact that artificial intelligence, at the end of the day, when utilized correctly, can be something that can bring such positive change to the world and to the masses that, I mean, I love this. And for the elderly people who maybe don't so understand computers, speaking, conversing with something is something that they have done for ages, so that seamless integration into utilizing artificial intelligence is something that, if we really are trying to see what can be used for the future generations, those who are here, those who have been on the earth for a long time and maybe don't know like all of the newest computer software programs, just to be able to converse with something will provide such an ease of life, and for there to be answers back and to be held, on a schedule. Maybe they don't have any family that lives by them. This is something that can be used for very many positive things. So as the years go on, I just will have a bigger smile on my face in terms of, how can AI help, our older generations? Because the integration process looks like having a conversation like we're having right now.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
That was great.
And yeah, I mean, that's just what it is, and if you are new to our Twitch channel and you are curious as to what Arghon Artificial Intelligence is, head on over to www.arghon.com now, download it to your device, and, just like we're doing here, start the conversation with your AI. See how Arghon can help you.
And we've got someone in the chat, Megan Cav. So yeah, that sounds really cool for my grandma who has the beginnings of dementia. It could be really helpful for her. And then they've said, "Hey, Lauren." So
how is Megan spelled?
Meagan. Is it Megan?
Megan.
Megan, I apologize.
Thanks for commenting. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your feedback. We are optimistic and hopeful that it will help people in various different kinds of situations in their life that, as time progresses, they will need that extra support and that extra care and just something there. Arghon really is something that is going to hopefully change the conversation for the better, change the conversation in the way of, why aren't all artificial intelligence devices and software, like, why isn't this the standard? Because everyone needs help.
Yeah.
Everyone needs help. So let Arghon hopefully be something that can be utilized to help.
So, Jess, well said. Well said. A lot of what you said. Yeah. Whenever the emotional intelligence part, the funny thing, I can't stress enough how reading that article kind of induced a deep, it might have been external, but I do remember a deep internal chuckle, just because of the fact that, talking about that kind of emotionally intelligent response, a response that takes into account the context of what someone's saying. Like someone says, "I have a headache." That's not time to go, "Congratulations, can't wait to hear what you're doing next."
Right.
The time to say, "Oh, sorry to hear about that." And for your AI to go, "That's like, the fourth one that you had in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Maybe you need some sleep," or, whatever. Kind of some, that's when you want a response that is emotionally intelligent. And that's when adding that emotional intelligence to AI really does create so much opportunity for intervention in various spaces of mental health. Obviously, to varying degrees, as different companies will have different levels of involvement in medical care and mental care. But it's so interesting to think of all the ways that it can be applied, just from creating a more natural interaction, similar to how, as we were just talking about before, using AI and motion capture can create a much more realistic physicality for video game characters. You can also, because of that emotional intelligence, create something where its response, its sentientness, actually comes across as very sensitive, and contextual. And again, that, like you said, that's something that Arghon has been, at the forefront of for 16 years. When we think about responses, we have it down to, what age is the person who is asking the question, from the youngest age to the oldest age, and AI needs to be able to respond. And the AI is the ultimate be all things to all people, right? And so, when we add emotional intelligence, so much of the conversation can veer towards how is that bad, but let's look at how it's great. How it's great is that, again, it allows for a more nuanced response, right? Emotional intelligence is tied to so many things that we, that we do every day. When someone says, "Oh man, I'm so stressed," what the emotionally intelligent response is? Hey, is there anything I can do to help, take the load off for the workday? Or maybe, you need me to drop you off at the place instead of you driving by yourself so you can get work done, right? That's an emotionally intelligent response, but it's also a productive response.
Yeah.
And AI that is often there, a super companion AI like Arghon, which is designed to actually enhance your lifestyle, to be with you, to talk to you, to get to know you, that coupled with emotional intelligence means that at those pain point moments, at those moments when, you're dealing with medical care for the elderly, or you're dealing with, a busy parent, or, a stressed out student who's trying to apply to college or take an exam, that kind of emotional intelligence looks like, oh my gosh, I have to study all night, I'm exhausted. And then the AI says, would you like me to make a reservation for a study room in your college library or your local library? Right? So emotional intelligence doesn't just mean I know what you're feeling and I can judge it or manipulate it, which is, again, the bad interpretation. What it really means is the emotionally intelligent response is oftentimes the productive response. It's the helpful response. It's the response that's going to make your life actually better. And in a lot of ways, when we think about, AI and these discussions, it's truly a tool to improve and help life. There's not a replacement here. There's an enhancement. People say, well, what about, I know that some people will think about, when they think of emotional intelligence and the relationship with AI, it's things like her. It's like, well, will this replace, the need to interact with other people? Well, of course not. Again, an emotionally intelligent AI can take care. It's like the ultimate personal assistant, right? A really great personal assistant, the kind of personal assistant you have to pay six figures for, and usually it's the high net worth individuals who have that. That assistant knows what your moods are. They're like, all right, she needs coffee at around 1 p.m. because her emotions and her energy is going to dip, and she needs to come back up so she can be productive. So, let's set the espresso maker for this time so she's ready to go every day. Right? That's emotionally intelligent. But what does that say? That says I don't have to get up and go get the coffee myself.
Yeah.
Right? The emotionally intelligent response is, wait a second. My boss just said, my meeting, my, not boss, but my human, essentially companion, is saying, my meeting's running long. I'm very busy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that the second meeting, or if I'm going to be able to pick up the thing from the store in time. And the AI going, okay, I'm busy means she needs help, right?
Yeah.
I can't do this. The AI goes, I can't do that. What does can't mean? All right, unable. What can I do to intervene? Let's find an intervention. What's the quickest way down? What's the quickest way to find the like water to the ocean? What's the quickest path to the wide open space, the goal? Would you like me to send a request for postponement to your next appointment? Or would you like me to, instead of asking for this to be a pickup order, make it a delivery order, right? Emotional intelligence is not just about kind of AI peeping behind the curtains and knowing about, oh, she's depressed, or oh, she has anxiety, or he has, or you know what I'm saying? It isn't about that. It's about, wow, now that it's aware of me, it can actually serve me in a way that works for me.
Yeah.
When my AI tells me the list of everything I have to do today, and I go, ugh, fine. And then the AI says, okay, your tone was kind of in the low range. Do you not want to do this? Perhaps we should remove something from your schedule or shift it to tomorrow. I mean, talk about a load off.
Yeah.
Talk about an improved life. Because it's suggested when you can see that something isn't working, and oftentimes we as humans communicate via that emotional response as opposed to what we say. So when an AI can kind of be clued in, then you end up with an experience of the technology that is it removes burdens. It improves the actual quality of your lived life, and it's suggesting things that are useful right in the moment, not just the, pre-programmed, these are the 5 things I say at this hour, but the nuanced, well, if I'm asking a simple question, or I'm saying something about a lot of things that have to get done, and your response is a negative thing, or your tone is negative, or your eyes or your lids are low, or whatever it is, maybe that means tiredness. So then the AI can ask, are you tired? And you go, yeah. And then the AI says, okay, well then, and then when we look at it on the opposite side, so not the negative, but the positive, you're like, hey, it's my birthday, or whatever it is, right? And you're saying, the AI hears that, and it's like, wait a second. Obviously, it will know your birthday. So maybe something more like, oh my God, I had a really great day at work today. I just got a promotion, or something like that. Then the AI will be like, well, congratulations. You're clearly very happy, even if it doesn't somehow know what promotion is. It should, if it's an AI worth its salt. Would you like me to order a champagne at your restaurant tonight in advance? So it's a participant in your life in a way that's useful, and the more emotional understanding an AI has, the more relevant it can be to your life, and the less annoying it will be, because its responses are actually modulated to the tone of your day, your experience. Yeah. And as Jess said, my final note of a longer story, but it is amazing to think about the fact that for a lot of people, they're getting here now. And for 16 years, my family and I have been working on this.
Yeah.
I remember the discussions talking about, I remember like literally mom, dad, and I, again, Arghon is a family business, as much as it's also an inclusive, we kind of become, people who join with us become family. And I remember those discussions. I remember having to figure out what are all the ways that someone might say they need, a certain medication, or we can, what are the responses if we haven't heard from someone in a while, or how do we respond? How do we make sure that, the, young son, the son who's checking on their grandmother in another state, or their, sickly sibling or family member in some other location, what are they going to need? What do those updates look like? How often do we have to check in? What are signs of issue, right? These are all things that Arghon, our AI that we work on, these are questions that we've been answering for a long time. And what's amazing too is that our team have, again, what you see on here is a small segment of our team. The Arghon team is a larger group of people. And, we have members of the team who have medical expertise. And so, it's a really rich discussion that we're having as it pertains to AI and the way it can be sensitive to people and their needs. And, when we look at the current context globally, from Corona to, protests to everything involved, what's really great is that AI can be a means of providing relief to those people, right? It can be a place to get those early interventions when it comes to mental health. So a more emotionally aware AI can help a human become a healthier person. And when I think of that, every fear or trepidation that one would have because, oh my gosh, unknown technology kind of slides to the wayside because, again, it's a tool to be used in service of people having an enhanced lifestyle like Arghon. So definitely sign up. Watching this now or watching this in the future, do sign up for Arghon at arghon.com. It's at the top of the screen somewhere. And start using Arghon. It's completely free. And if just begin. There's nothing like having the hands-on experience to really get to know what AI is all about.
Yeah.
Well said.
That was so well said.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Gosh, my goodness, like there would be nothing to add to that. Like it was that well said.
I felt that way about both of your responses too, honestly. So, it's just a bunch of smart ladies in tech.
Yeah.
Smart ladies in tech.
Smart ladies in tech.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great thing to be a part of. And I am happy to be a part of it with you two.
Yay!
Yeah. It's good. It's good. For those who are just tuning in, if you are interested in what this company of Arghon is all about, head on over to www.arghon.com and see for yourself. Download Arghon on your devices and begin to interact with our AI. If you are interested or have ever wondered what it is like to code for AI, well, we've got you covered there too. You can head on over to arghon.com/vision2020 and you can learn all of the educational lessons as well as practice your AI coding. Practice your AI coding. And
hands-on experience for all the experiential leaders.
Experience, yes. And this is all for free to the end user. So, I mean, it's free.
Free.
No
what
barriers.
do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
Nothing.
I mean, you can learn to upskill your life right now for free. And I know we all have a little bit of extra time right now. So what better thing to do during this time than to upskill your life? Learn how to code for AI. Yes. If you would like to know where to catch Arghon AI outside of the Twitch channel, be sure to follow us on our social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Arghon AI. That's Arghon AI, as well as our YouTube page, youtube.com/Arghon. We have lots of fun videos there, how to get started downloading, how to download Arghon, how to get started using Arghon. We have lots of other fun shows there as well. When our shows on the Twitch channel expire, they will be there eventually. So keep a lookout. Keep your eyes peeled for that. We will be back tomorrow with another lovely episode.
No, not tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Wednesday, not Friday. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and we do not have a show for you all.
I just don't want
It felt like Thursday, didn't it?
It felt like Thursday.
Yeah.
Really
Tuesdays do that.
It felt like Thursday. You know what? Okay, tomorrow's Wednesday, and we will not see you tomorrow. We will see you back here on the Arghon AI Twitch channel on Thursday for our Throwback Thursday episode, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. British Summer Time. Well, ladies, I think that's it, right? That's it. From all of us here, from the Arghon team, those you see, those who are doing business in life, making sure that Arghon is out there for the world to see. We just want to say thank you so much for your support. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like this page. Be sure to tell your friends about it. And
be sure to go back and watch our other videos and look at some of our from episodes that you might have missed. We've got some good stuff up there under the section.
Very true.
We do.
Very, very true. Yes. We want to say thank you so much, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.